Hello everyone, I am Ariprasad S from City Engineering College. Today I am going to present my practical aspect of construction management learning report which I have completed through CMTI and Prayojana Engineering Solutions. The content of my presentation consists of reading of construction drawing, construction methodology, residential interior, green building, quality control and quality assurance, project planning, construction safety, introduction to building information modeling, webinars and conclusion. First, we are going to look into reading of construction plan. Reading of construction plan is an essential skill for building a career as a construction engineer. Construction plan is a two-dimensional architectural drawing. They provide a unique visual representation of what exactly needs to be built. Information such as dimension, parts, placement and materials can be seen from each project. It is always necessary to read a plan with all the respective drawings. This is an example for a plan. Next, the title block. The first thing you should look for before you start reading is the title block. Title block mainly consists of project name, drawing title, project reference number, structural consultant, architect, client name, contractor, purpose of the issue. It is necessary to note that the drawing is good for construction, and if the drawing is not good for construction, the project should not be started. Next is the note. Note generally contains important information like specification of the material, unit of measurement, construction methodology, sequence, or any special information to be given. It is very important to read all the notes and follow them during construction. Next, this is an example for general notes which gives the dimensions of all the drawings, and it also gives the mixed design and also gives the reinforcement details. Next is the general construction symbol. It is also called as a legend. A legend simply is a chart with all the symbols used in an individual drawing. Next is the schedule. It consists of the drawing details such as diameter of the bar and the spacing between the bars. It can be used to identify the specific bars of the reinforcement, and it also contains reinforcement drawing. This is an example of bar bending schedules and window and door schedule. Next, things to note during reading of an elevation. These are the two pictures of north elevation and south elevation. It is always necessary to read a plan with all the respective drawings. From the north elevation, it is evident that the road level is represented at 0 from the earth. Next is the driveway is at an elevation of 150 mm from the road level. The floor to floor height is 2900 mm. Windows are represented by two lines. Two alternative floors are separated with grooves, which is represented by red dot lines. MS railing is used for the balcony, which can be seen from the south elevation. You can see my cursor, you can see MS railing. Next, lowered ventilators are used. Lowered ventilators are nothing but glass or other materials are used, which are placed at an angle of 45 degree. Next, 200 mm wide slab project elevation is provided. You can see my cursor. Next is the height from the last floor to the terrace is 2.55 mm. Next is the PCC foundation. PCC is nothing but plain cement concrete, or it is the concrete which does not have any reinforcement in it. Plain cement concrete foundation starts by removing of all the loose earth. If necessary, soil has to be strengthened by soil nailing or strutting. Next, check the bottom level of the PCC as per the drawing. Dewatering has to be done if necessary. Sprinkling of water has to be done before placing the PCC, so that water that is present in the mixed design will not be absorbed by the ground. Next, to check the portion as per the drawing. Next, the labor required for that days of the work has to be bought. Mixing of the concrete and placing has to be done as per the level pad. Finishing of the top surface has to be done without any extra mortar. Curing has to be done for 7 days. Checklist has to be prepared and get signed by clients or representative. Next is marking for column footing on PCC. The marking can be done either by total station or theodolite, manually by using thread, tape or right angle. Paint and cement mortar are used for marking. Marking has to be left for 1 day to dry, and next activity should be followed from the next day. The checklist has to be prepared and signed by the client and representative. Next is the construction methodology and method statement. It is nothing but a form of document which contains procedures of an activity and site safety. Next is excavation. Excavation is the process of removal of the earth, rock or other material with tools, equipment or explosives. It includes earthwork, trenching, underground construction. First is the preparation before excavation. Study the layout and centerline drawing. Make sure both are matching. If not, it should be corrected with the help of client or architect. Mark the layout and center line by manually or by theodolite or total station. Manually it is done using right angle or 3, 4, 5 method or Pythagoras method. Next is prepare checklist and get it signed by client and representative. Next is excavation process. Arrange a proper machinery or labor for the days of the work. Next, check the center line layout with the uh, client and representative. Next, prepare the checklist and get it signed by client or its representative. Excavation of 300 mm extra has to be done on all the sides of the footing, and it is payable under IS 1200. The 300 mm extra has to be excavated so that carpenter can do his shuttering work. Next, if the depth of the excavation is more than 1.5 meter, arrange for strutting or soil strengthening after getting the approval from the client or the representative. Next, it is an example for checklist for excavation. It mainly contains project, document number, client's name, project location, site's name. Site's name includes such as for example Mantri Serenity or Prestige Falcon City. Location is the place of the excavation to be taken place. Date, the day in which the excavation has to be done. Next, the residential interior. It contains 7 units. First is the wardrobe, living unit, modular kitchen, puja unit, cookery unit, shoe rack and foyer unit. Wardrobe is the place where we keep our clothes. These are of 3 types. First is the closed wardrobe, second is the open wardrobe, and third is the sliding type of wardrobe. Next is the living unit. Living unit is the place where we spend most of our time, which connects other parts of the house such as kitchen, bathroom, bedroom and storage. Next is the modular kitchen. A modular kitchen is a modern and flexible way to design a kitchen which contains variety of cabinets for different functions. These cabinets are called as modules. These are the beautiful pictures of kitchens, modular kitchens. Next is the puja unit. As the name suggests, puja unit is the place where we perform our daily idol rituals, where we worship our god. Next is the cookery unit. Cookery unit is nothing but the place where we store cutlery, dinewares and tablewares, etc. They give an extra touch of style for any room. Next is the shoe rack. A shoe rack is a furniture or a piece of built to storage of our shoes, which can be used to place the shoes together and organized. This is an example of shoe rack. Next is the foyer unit. Foyer unit is the place where we welcome our guests whenever they enter into our house or apartment. Next, these are the materials which are used in case of interior works. First 3 are the manufactured wood, and the last 7 are the solid wood. Manufactured wood are cheaper and more efficient, more readily available than the solid wood. For the manufactured wood are of 3 types: chipboard, fiber board and plywood. Solid wood are of 7 types such as pine, beech, ash, oak, maple, walnut, mahogany. These solid wood are considered to be the premium wood. These are the unit conversions which are regularly used in interior works. Next is the finishes. Finishes are of 3 types: laminates, veneer and deco paint. Laminates are the most commonly used type. Veneer and deco paint gives a glossy finish to the surface, hence it is used. And the veneers are nothing but the solid woods which are made into uh, thin sheets and it is put on the furnitures. Next, quality check in an interior work. It is necessary that there is no chipping of the laminates takes place. Sharp edges of the laminate should be avoided. Scratches should be looked into. Next, dent marks should be not present. Grain mismatch should not take place. Color mismatch should not take place. Deco mismatch should not take place. The alignment of the laminates or the finishing material should be perfect. The edge binding should be finished properly, or else the laminate or the finishing uh, can come off. Next is the quality control and quality assurance. Quality control is the process through which a business seeks to ensure that the product quality is maintained or improved. Second is the quality assurance. It is an activity to ensure that the organization is providing the best possible product or the service to the customer. These are the differences between quality assurance and the quality control. Next, quality test on the major materials which are used in constructions such as cement, steel, aggregate, sand, sand, block and concrete. First is the cement. The cement can be tested either at site or at lab. At site, first we have to look into the manufacturing date. This can be done so that the cement bag will not be opened. The manufacturing date to be used within 90 days itself. Next is the check for lump. If the lumps are present in the cement, then it should be discarded. Next is the physical feel should be cool. At the some of the lab tests that are considered for cement is initial setting time, final setting time, fineness, consistency test. Next is the steel test, which are to be done at site and at lab. First, at site, bend and rebend test, in which the steel is bent to an angle of 90 degree and it has to be rebent in the opposite direction, and the final result, the steel should not have any cracks in it. Next, weight per RMT is another method which can be used at site. Next, at lab, tensile strength, chemical test and elongation test. In case of chemical test, is mainly done during construction and in underwater or near the sea, so that corrosion of the steel does not take place. Next is aggregates. Aggregate test consists of coarse aggregate and fine aggregate. In case of coarse aggregate, sieve analysis can be done by placing the sieves according to their sieve numbers. Next is the flakiness index and the color and shape. In case of color, the color should be blue or black and the shape should be irregular so that proper bonding takes place. And water absorption is the final test in coarse aggregate. Next is the in case of fine aggregate, is the first one is the sieve analysis. In sieve analysis, the sieves are placed according to the decreasing order from 4.75 to 75 microns. 75 microns. Next is the silt content. Silt content test has to be done so that there is no clay or silt is present in the mixed design. If there is a clay or silt, there will be irregular binding and it is very dangerous for the construction of buildings. Next is the block or bricks. First, the compressive strength should not be less than 3.5 Newton square meter. The absorption is not more than 20%. The soundness means nothing but when we clash two bricks, it should make an metal clinging sound. Next is the efflorescence test. The efflorescence test should be done when the brick is immersed into the water for 24 hours and it should not have any white patches on it. Next, check for inside texture. The inside texture should not contain any crack or any irregularities in them, and it should be well compacted. Next, concrete. In case of concrete, the compressive strength will be according to the mixed design such as M20, M25, M30, M35. The slump for the site mix should not be less than 60 mm. In case of RMC, not less than 100 mm. The water cement ratio will vary from 0.45% to 0.60% of weight of the cement. Next, documentation required for quality assurance are level book, measurement book, steel register, steel test report, concrete cube register, site instruction book, slump test register, drawing registers. Is project planning. Project is a temporary achievement. It will be unique for every site and location. It is a part of project management. A project is completed when all the goals are achieved. A project is said to be successful when it exceeds the expectation of the stakeholders. Next, need of the project. First, why projects are needed. First is the market demand. For example, Tata Steel putting a new steel plant on increasing demand. Business need. When there is an opportunity of business, the project plan, a new project has to be done. For example, L&T Management Development Center at Lonavala. Next is on the customer request. Example, an electric company putting up a new substation for upcoming industrial park. Next is the technological advancement. For example, an automobile company, a new place provides a new manufacturing plant.
and is the legal or statutory requirement. In case of industry, it is necessary to clean the discharge before letting them into the open. Next are the key aspects of project management. This gives a pictorial representation of key areas used in project management. Next, what is project management? It is the application of process, methods, skills, knowledge, and experience to achieve the project within a finite timescale and budget. Next, what major aspect of planning and monitoring? The outline of the bar chart. Staff to execute the project. Necessary staff should be present to execute the project. Plant and machineries. The machinery should be provided for that days of the work. Manpower, materials, specialized agencies such as consultancy, such as electrical consultancy, architectural consultancy, and plumbing consultancy. Next is the cost estimation and fund required. Stages of planning. First is the tender stage. Tender state. Second is the awarding of contract or giving the contract to the person. Next, monthly planning for the execution of project, weekly planning for the sectional level, day-to-day planning for individual level. Next is the type of contract. First, these are the four types of contracts. First is the lump sum or fixed price contract. In case of lump sum or fixed type contract, in this type, the contractor agrees to perform the work as mentioned in the contract. Next is the unit price contract. In this contract, it is mainly based on the estimated quantities of the item. Final price of the project is dependent on the quantities needed to carry out the work. This has more risk. Next is the cost plus fixed fee. In this type of contract, contractor will receive the cost of the project and will also get some incentive to complete the job as quickly as possible. Next is the cost plus fixed percentage. In this type of contract, the contractor will receive the actual amount directly for the job plus a fixed percentage. The compensation is based on the percentage of the cost. Next is the main outcome of planning at tendering stage. The first is the precise construction schedule and method statement. Detailed cost estimation with overheads. Overheads includes the payment that has to be done. Final sale price, completion, filling of schedule of rate, submission of offer and documenting all the records for our own reference, tender negotiation, final contract agreement. Next, this typical organization structure at site. This include project management, safety in charge, quality in charge, accountant, construction manager, planning engineer, site engineer, foreman, and the workman. Next is the preparation of tender and offers, study of document, project details and decision making, requirement of technology partner, arrange for an site investigation, detailed study of the contract, raising queries to the client, preparation of layout plan and bill of quantities and technical offer, collection of specialized agencies, rate and other material costs. This is an example for tender which was given by government of Maharashtra. Next is the requirement for understanding the project. It includes the personals and the event which takes place during the project undertaking, client, types of the project, type of the contract, project location and layout, master plan, number of units, scope of the work, items of the work to be executed, specification, cost of the project, time duration. Next, project lead team, which these are the members which include during a project: client, architect, structural designer, electrical consultant, and plumbing consultant. Contract overview. Contract overview is nothing but brief things that going to take place in this contract. First is the description of the contract. For example, it is a construction of residential building apartment. Then the type of the contract. Then the contract duration. The contract duration, for example, it is given as 24 months. Next is the contract value. The contract value is around 65 lakhs. Next is the scope of work. Then it consists of civil structures. Scope of work is nothing but the which considers the individual activities, such as in case of civil structure, foundation, core, and shell. Civil finishes include flooring, journey, or painting. Next, internal services includes electrical, plumbing, and sanitary. And civil includes driveway, SW drain, STP is nothing but sewage treatment plant, UG supply, UG sump, etc. Next is infra services, external electrical work, DG or sewer lines, etc. Next is the location plan. Next is a typical layout plan. From this typical layout plan, it is evident that the structure, it is an RCC frame structure with seismic zone 3. It has a 200 thick solid block for external wall with cement plaster finish, 100 thick solid blocks for internal wall with cement plaster, door and windows. The main door, this is all given in the this all will be given in the plan itself. Next will be the door and windows. The main door is which is made up of teak wood and door frame. The internal doors and toilet doors will be first quality Burma salwood door frame. Windows is UPVC glazed sliding windows with mosquito mesh. Balcony French door with similar to that of windows. It will be made up of UPVC glazed openable doors and toilet ventilators. Next is CP and sanitary fitting. European water closets with PVC flush tank, wash basin, white color rectangular wash basin, stainless steel single bowl sink at kitchen. Electrical fittings. All the electrical wire is concealed type with good quality cable, ISI branding and modular switches. Provision for inverter, three-phase power supply. Next, we are going to talk about green building and green education. In case of green building and green education, it is environmental. Green buildings are nothing but environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout a building's life cycle, from setting of design, construction, operation, maintenance, renovation, and deconstruction. What are the difference between conventional building and an green building? In case of green building, both look alike. The building uses will be the same. The only difference is the operation for saving for operational cost and the conservation of natural resources, human comfort and product, and indoor and outdoor environment. Next is the tangible benefits. The tangible benefits are nothing but the direct benefit which we get from it will reduce the operating cost. It will optimize the economical performance. It will be suitable for saving energy. The saving energy, it saves energy of 40 to 50%, and water savings will be 20 to 30%. Next is intangible benefits or indirect benefits. Intangible benefit, environmental benefit. It reduces the impact on environment, health and safety, enhances the occupant's comfort, improves the productivity of the occupant. This is the photo of CII Godrej Green Building Business Center, which has been awarded the platinum badge. Next, these are the 26 IGBC rating system for commercial buildings, the residential building, transit buildings, built for environment, educational institution, industries, and health and well-being, such as hospital. Next, wastewater treatment through plants are nothing but phytoremediation. Phytoremediation is basically refers to use of plants and associated soil microbes. Soil microbes for the reducing concentration or the toxic effect of contaminants in the environment. Phytoremediation is widely accepted as a cost-effective environmental restoration technology. Phytoremediation, this is an example for phytoremediation in the Godrej Business Center, which I have shown in the last slide. Next is the high performance envelope. The cavity wall double glazed unit roof installation, reduced heat gain by the design, significant energy saving. Next, the concept of green building, air conditioning design. Air conditioning can be done not only by providing a AC in every room. It can be done using the design itself. This shows an example of a green building, how it uses the how it uses its own design for air conditioning. Next is building integrated photovoltaic. It is nothing but use of solar energy. In case of bifacial, in this method, we are going to use photovoltaic cells, which are bifacial solar PV models which are transparent and frameless. Energy yield enhanced with higher reflectivity, 20 to 30%, with elevation of 1.5 meters. Before that, the surface of the terrace has to be painted in white so that total reflection takes place from the surface and nothing goes into the building. Next, how can we say it as a sustainable building? But it is by using a sustainable building material. By using it mainly focuses on building reuse, use of salvage materials, material with recycled content, local material or regional material, wood-based material. Automated solid waste management. This is an flowchart of automated for solid waste management. Next is the construction site safety. Construction site safety, it becomes very important because life of an worker is most valuable. Next, construction accident takes place. These are the construction accidents. 56% fall from the height, 21% trapped by something collapsing or overturning, 10% struck by moving vehicle, 5% contact with the electricity and electrical discharge, 4% struck by flying passing object, 3% contact with the moving machinery or material being machined, 1% exposure to hot or harmful substances. Next, the working height. The working height is nothing but the height in which the worker works. It should be more evident and it should be more practical during the construction. Using of ladder and scaffolding without proper fixing will be very harmful. Never use incomplete scaffoldings. Make sure there are handrails and tow bars at all the edges. Next, ladders. Ladder is commonly used in construction site. Ladders become lethal when it is not in good shape. There is no secure at the top, no firm base footing for 4 up and 1 out, rising at 1 meter beyond the landing place, or there is a proper handhold. Next, how can in case of safe ladders, never allow one person on the ladder. Use tool belts or hand line to carry object. Do not lean over the ladder in any direction. Next, in case for roof safety, roof is one of the riskiest place to do the work. Always inspect a roof before you walk on it. You must have a protection to stop you from falling off the edge. Next, you must use proper of safety harness and running cable when working on the top of the roof. A walk along the fragile roof could be dangerous. Next is the crane safety. The weight of the load must be carefully estimated. The crane must be fitted with automatic safe load. The crane must also work on the hard and level base. Load must be properly fixed and secured. Banksman must be trained to give a clear signal. Next, in case of electricity, electricity is very dangerous during construction. Check constantly the cables are not damaged or overrun. Keep trailing the cable off the ground and away from the water. Never overload or make shift the plug and fuse. Working near sewage, you should think about the risk and the infection that are going to affect us. Next, wearing of protective clothing. Avoid sewage if possible. Apply good personal hygiene. Next is the PPE on the site. PPE is nothing but personal protective equipment. This is an example of PPE, which consists of an head protection such as hard hat, hard helmet, eye protection, breathing apparatus, ear protection, gloves, fall arrest, footwears and or foot rest. Next is the clothing. Next, introduction to building information modeling. It consists of the phases of project. In this picture, from this pictorial representation, we can see that first is the programming. Next is the conceptual design, detailed design, analysis, documentation, fabrication, construction at 4D and 5D, construction logistic, operation and maintenance. Next, building information modeling. What is building information modeling? Is an intelligent 3D model based process that gives architectural, engineering and construction professional an insight and the tool more efficiently plan, design, construct and manage the building and infrastructure. Now, some of the critical challenges faced without using a BIM is it is highly complex. Communication among the team, rework and wastage, project delay, exceeding the budget. Communication mismatch. From this picture, we can see the communication mismatch. Next, the applications used in BIM. is some of these are the applications which are used in BIM for planning, authoritating, analysis, and uses. Next, career opportunities in BIM: BIM engineer, BIM architect, technician, MEP, modular, 3D and 4D, design coordinator, specialist, manager, and structural BIM engineer, BIM project manager. These are the webinars that I have taken part in during my internship with CMTI. Work breakdown structure, which was presented by Shivaraman Rajendra. Self-compacting concrete by Dr. Jagadish Vengala. Sharp playwork at glance by Sandeep Verma. Project management scope Suresh Belagutti. IoT in construction Dr. Gulshan Taj MNA. Then tendering and estimation of infrastructure by Sandesh Bharadwaj. Thank you.
Yeah, good presentation. You have covered extensive. What are the learnings fully? You have
Yes.
got